All right, so far so good. By the way, we have completed the equation or the running. So we can check the production. So the production is like this. Later, we are going to the previous time steps and perform hydraulic fracturing. And of course, the production profile will be different. So remember this shape. Okay, in particular, we can check the production from producer 5 like this. We will we will fracture this producer 5 and production or producer 6. Okay, and maybe this well, this is horizontal well. Later they will be changed because we want to frac them. Okay, so far so good. And then after the flow funk, okay, so let's go to frac the well. First, after completing this one, so you know already the production performance of the field and from each well. So let's go back to certain time step, for example, here in this case, to time step 1. And on this time step 1, I want to frac producer 5. So let's find it in using this one, prod 5D. Okay, so there you go. This is the production or producer 5. Just remember the profile here. Okay, so it's like this. So at time step 1, the flow rate is 162 standard meter cube per day. This will be changed. So let's just go back to grid properties and then right click on this grid and then edit well producer 05. Okay, so this is the original view. And then let's frac all the layers. Touch this one, hold shift button and touch the 10th layer and everything will be blocked. Okay, everything will be highlighted. And then you see here, previously it is inactive, but now shift it it's activated. Click on that one. Okay, here the frac options. We want to create the fracture manually, so click on that one, select manual, and yeah, the first one is azimuth. I'm going to make it 90 degrees, and then zenith angle 0, and then height 1 and 2 0, and then length 110 meters, and then 140 meters for the length 2. So it's not symmetrical. All right, length 2, I make it longer than the length 1, and the width of the fracture 0.02, and then bounding box, tick on that. So what is bounding box? So the first and last layer numbers in X, Y, and Z directions. So basically that you define the first and the last layer numbers from X, Y, and Z direction. And the fracture should not be outside this box. So by saying this X11, X22, I'm telling tNavigator that, that my fracture should not be outside this box. Okay? And the same thing with Y, Y1, Y2, and Z1 and Z2. Okay? By the way, let's go back to definition or maybe later. Okay? And yeah, tick on permeability, and then we select the propan pack that we will use in this particular fracture. So we are going to use propan 0 with the associated flow function 0, multiplier 1, and the phase, either liquid, water, oil, or gas, depending on your model, depending on your reservoir. In this case, we are going to select liquid. Okay, so multiplier is fracture productivity multiplier. Again, propan and flow function you choose from the drop-down list. Okay, and then azimuth can be 0 up to 360, zenith from 0 to 90. All right, and then again, this bounding box means that your your fracture will be contained here in this bone. And again, azimuth in tNavigator is the angle between the positive direction of x-axis and fracture right half length. Okay, so that's why I use the north there. Okay, this is the way it should be, so that I know that the positive x direction will be to my east. Okay, this is x direction from west to east. So the positive x direction will be directed to the eastern part. And again, azimuth angle is the angle between positive x direction and the fracture right half length. So I have left and right, left and right half length of the fracture. So the azimuth will be the angle between the positive x direction and the right section of my half length. Okay, sorry for if it is a little bit, complicated, or it makes you confused, because yeah, I think because it's a little bit, it is, it takes time to understand, and better you read it yourself. And then I think, yeah, there, I will show you the generated fracture. Maybe we can understand better. And then, okay, click on OK and save. Okay. All right. So if we untick the show grid, nothing happened, but the fracture will be generated at the next time step. So click on this one, move to the time step 2, and then select fractures, D.